Hello. Hi. Bet you thought you saw the last of me. Hi, guys. Long time no see. Oh, and this doesn't feel right. I gotta put. Despite the fact that I'm not playing anything, I gotta put my headphones on just to make it feel more authentic. Makes me feel more comfortable speaking. Hi, Nog. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Uh, oh, that's my cat, of course. You really gonna throw a fit now? I hope you're all doing swell. It's been a hot minute. By hot minute, I mean it's been like 3 months. uh, I guess there's kind of a lot to explain and some stuff that is more personal that I probably won't share, but I'll tell you guys as much as I can, and we can just kind of catch up today. Although I do have something in mind. Um, so uh, yeah, the connection might be a little weird. Um, Hopefully it's better than when I tested it that other day. Alright, I want to just actually I want to make sure because I'm. It's probably not great, but I mean it's probably better. Oh, shut up, app update. Hold on. Oh, just bring me to the damn stream, you idiot. Okay. Let me just. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. All right. Even though I watched it for like 10 seconds. It'll probably dip once in a while, but so yeah, allow me to at least offer some explanation as to my absence. Um so basically the my long days at work were kind of getting to me where what my previous schedule was that I would go to work very early in the morning, and then I would come home, and then I'd be so freaking tired. But that's when I would have to stream if I wanted to stream, because at night is when everyone's home and they're, I can't, and I couldn't really do stream while everyone was home because I was crashing in a loft, so there were no walls or doors. Um, so I was like, all right, well, I work and then I'm dead tired, but I force myself to stream, and then after that, I'm even more tired. So it was kind of wearing on me. So I was like, all right, until I figure something out, I'll go on a short hiatus. Emphasis on short. So yeah, and then a bunch of other things happened. Uh, Long story short, from that, I have a room now, so I actually am closed off, which is why I'm streaming right now because I can stream during the evenings now. Uh, it doesn't matter if people are home or not. I have a room. I have walls. I have a door. I can now isolate in peace. So yeah, that and the a good reason. So even after I got into this like room, I had to get my router down here because how I streamed before was I had the router uh, right next to me so I could hardwire into it. Um, but so I had to move the router into this new room, and then the router wasn't working. So that's when I did that stream connection, like test stream, to see if like even without being hardwired into the router, if it would be okay. And I knew it wouldn't, and yeah, obviously it wasn't. If you saw that, but eventually we did we were able to bring the router down here. We got it fixed. The and now the router's working. I'm basically just like summing this all up. Um, so now I'm hardwired to the router. Connection's probably not 100% good, but it's at least 70% good. So I'm hoping it's not too bad. But yeah, that was a quick summary. I don't really feel like repeating it. If anyone comes in like a few minutes, um, probably should have waited, but whatever. Yeah, so a lot's happened. It's been, when was my last stream? It was probably like early September. It's probably like late summer, right? Had to have been. And now it's like we're 2 days away from December. Yeah, that sucks. But hey, at least it's Christmas time. I guess I could ask you guys how your Halloween and Thanksgiving was. I didn't really do much for either one. Yeah. Sorry I was doing something. No need to apologize. You need to do something. You need to do something. Most things are more important than me. So please prioritize your personal life. But I hope you're doing good, Nog. It's good to be back in the hot seat, the streaming seat. My comfortable leather chair. I think it's leather. I don't know. It's really old. Checking up on my boyfriend. How's your boyfriend? Say hi to your boyfriend for me. Say Volt says hi. And I was trying to think of something funny to say, but my creativity, well, I mean, you gotta let me get back into it, all right? It's been a few months. My improv has lost a little bit of sheen. Um, I'll get back into it though, and I promise I'll say less ums. You know, I'll turn into Jeff Goldblum eventually, I'm sure, but I'll try. Yeah, and I just said again, so great. So yeah, I didn't really do much for Halloween or Thanksgiving. Um, Actually, I posted a video of this on. I'm just glad to see you back. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I'm super glad to be. I was so bummed for a long time that I couldn't stream it because it's such an outlet for me, you know. And I get to see you guys, and it's good to see you guys again. It's hard without you guys. I don't celebrate either. Yeah, kind of just went with the flow. Thanksgiving, it was just like me and my mom. We couldn't really do anything, so we just ate some food. We watched that weird Squid Game reality show. Yeah, they turned Squid Game into a reality show. It's pretty much exactly what you'd expect. See, the thing is, I never actually saw Squid Game. Um, I heard good things, I heard bad things, so and I really wasn't interested in it. But I know a lot about it just because everyone was talking about it. So it was funny watching the reality show because obviously they don't kill people, even though that would make for great ratings. But they have a squid thrust in everyone's chest, so if they fail a challenge, they set off the squid thrust, and the person has to lay down as if they're dead. It's pretty funny. Although I am upset that the squib thrust is, it looks like it's ink instead of like fake blood. Very disappointing. But it is pretty funny. They have a weird system about like winning millions of dollars, and each time someone quote unquote dies, they like add more money to the pile, even though the end result is going to be the same. Like at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, they're still going to win the final prize money. So I don't understand the point of like increasing the money every time someone like kicks the bucket. Both of those things are too American for me. Yeah. Well, Squid Game isn't American. The original Squid Game. The reality show definitely is. But I thought the original Squid Game was like. I thought the. I know the main guy in it is like Korean or something. He's of Asian descent. So I thought maybe it was made in like the Orient. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I did for Thanksgiving though. We just got some food and we watched the parade in the morning for those outside of the country, and I'm specifically talking about you, Nog. Yeah, it's Korean. I was talking about how. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, yeah, yeah. Thanksgiving, yeah, I got that. Halloween, I thought was a little more universal, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know. I don't live overseas, but yeah. There's a for those that don't know, there's a big parade they do every year in New York City, and they televise it. It's called the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Macy's is a department store, so I guess they run it or whatever. And lots of people watch it every year. They got like big balloons. They got floats. They got performances. It always ends with Santa Claus. You know, just some guy chilling there in friggin' 20-degree weather. 20 degrees Fahrenheit, I should clarify. If I'm trying to describe this to an overseas audience. We do All Hallows Eve. Is that the same? Is it a little different? I don't know. I don't know how similar or different it is. Um yeah, saw the parade. Parade was pretty entertaining. Uh they had one of the balloons was an NFT character. That made me die inside a little bit. Because I was sitting next to my 8-year-old sister when we were watching the parade, and they said it was an NFT balloon. And I was like, oh no. She's like, what? I'm like, it's an NFT character. She's like, what's an NFT? I'm like, it's basically a way to scam people out of money. She's like, why would they make a balloon out of it? I said, I don't know. That was funny. Then they had Pikachu and Eevee. They have a Pikachu balloon every year, but they actually had Eevee and Pikachu riding a big sled as a balloon. I don't know. I'm just trying to point out the highlights here. A lot of the balloons, like the quarter of them were like not inflated. I don't know what was going on with that. They didn't really address it. Then they're starting to have anime balloons. Yeah. I mean, I guess Pokemon kind of counts, but they had a Goku balloon. I don't know which version of Goku it was. He had blue hair. That's probably Super Saiyan level 3.5 or whatever the fuck. Then they had what the fuck's his name? Luffy from One Piece. I think it's Luffy. Yeah, I want to say Luffy. Yeah, it like I just didn't expect it. I'm like, why do they have anime balloons? They had the Rockettes, which are a very famous performance group of female dancers from Radio City. They've been around for decades. Obviously not the same people. They rotate members. As far as I know, I mean, I don't keep up with the Rockettes, obviously. There was one band that it was very strange. They do have a ton of marching bands, like from all different schools and stuff. And one of them did a marching band rendition of Jimmy Buffett's Cheeseburger in Paradise. I don't. I don't know why. Such a strange choice. Uh, oh, you want the? How long have you been waiting for that? Alright. Well, so get used. Yeah. Let me drink. Hold on. Oh my god, we got a bot already. Oh, now I really feel like I'm back. Okay, hold on. Ara ara. There we go. A little rusty. What is given Skaru? I'm sorry, given Skaru. I mean, I'm not sorry. You can go fuck yourself. So, there you go. I might cough a lot, by the way. Just because, like, I've been coughing for months now. I think it's just a condition I have during the fall and winter. Long story, but, you know. So I might sound like I'm terminal. I mean, I could be. I don't know. Doctors are expensive. But yeah. Let's see, what else? Well, I've been playing a lot of stuff. I wasn't really playing anything for a while because I'm like, there's so much stuff that I'm like, oh, I want to play that, but either if I replay it, I want to replay it on stream, or if I haven't played it, I want to experience it first on stream. So I'm like, it kind of restricts what I can play. But I remember, months ago when I was streaming, one of the things that I started streaming was I streamed the original Persona, the very first one. And then I said on Twitter, I'm like, guys, streaming that game was really boring. So I'm not going to stream it anymore. But I'm like, in my off time, I was like, you know what? Now's my chance. So many years I've been putting this off. It's time for me to play all three of the original Persona trilogy. Persona 1, Persona 2, and then Persona 2 again, because there's two Persona 2s that take place right after each other. I don't know why. We could have just gone to 3, but whatever. Oh, 3 Reload. We definitely have to talk about that. Don't worry. We'll get into that. I'm so excited. Yeah, we're going to go on a little Persona tangent for a while. Alright? I've been away for months. I haven't been able to talk about Persona for months. So, you guys got to give me this. Alright? I gotta splurge, I guess. I was trying to think of a different word. I couldn't remember what it was. So I did it. I played all three of the original Persona games, and I enjoyed two of them. The first one is rough. It's very rough. I actually like the story a decent amount, and some of the characters. Not all of them, but some of them. I had to play the first game twice because there's two main stories, and you can only play one of them every playthrough. So basically, I felt like I had to play 4 games. I had to play Persona 1 twice, and I had to play Persona 2 twice. It was quite the experience. Persona 1 might have ended up being the grindiest game I've ever played. There were days where I would spend hours just playing the game, listening to stuff on YouTube, and I'm just grinding. Like, that's it. That's all I was doing. Spent the whole day grinding. Next day, went to work, got home. Guess what? More day, just grinding. It was bad. It was really well. Actually, no. The first main story was not that bad. It was pretty grindy, but it wasn't nearly as bad, because the first story is called the Sebek route because that's the company you're going after, and the second one is the Snow Queen's quest. The Sebek route uh, was more elaborate. There was more going on, and you basically were moving around a lot more. So it definitely felt like things were moving, along. Even if you had to grind once in a while, you still like had to go to new places and all that stuff. So I guess that's what made that better, you know. And it was kind of like I was kind of surprised because like in the modern Persona games, like in 3, 4, and 5, like not once did the main characters like directly kill somebody. Like they don't kill people. Like that's pretty much what they do. They'll do anything but actually kill another human being, right? I'm pretty sure. And if it does happen, they don't do it directly. Like they don't intend to do it or something, and it happens by someone else's hand or some shit like that. But in Persona 1 and 2, they don't care. They just kill people. It's just like one of the main bad guys in Persona 1. I thought we were going to beat him up and then he'd learn the error of his ways. And he did learn the error of his ways. And then we killed him. After the battle, I was like, oh, I guess we overpowered him and he's knocked out. And I go up to his corpse and it's like, yeah, he's dead. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Uh, cool. So that was interesting. It also involves two realities, and one is inside someone's head, and like it was, woof, it's all over the place. But I liked it overall. There were some characters that were dumb, but other than that, it was pretty neat. I liked it. The gameplay is definitely the roughest part. Actually, the graphics are pretty bad. And first off, the original game was on PS1, and the remake, which is what I was playing, was on the PSP. And they both look bad for their for their generation. Like even considering the technical limitations, they look like shit. My God. So, yeah, I would not suggest Persona 1 to like anyone unless you like are die-hard Persona fan like me. In which case, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I played it, but I never want to play that game ever again. Oh, and then there was the Snow Queen's quest. Oh, the Snow Queen's quest. I, Alright, let me explain. So, like I said, there's two main stories, so you gotta play through the game twice, basically, to get the full experience. In the original North American version of the first Persona, there were two big changes. One, it got Americanized to shit. Like they even infamously changed one of the characters just to be black, just to be like, oh, look, it's like an American group of kids with diversity and stuff. And like they only kept one character implied to be still Asian. But other than that, they were like, nope, everyone's American, and there's even a black kid. See, and I was like, oh my God. And also in the original North American release, there was no Snow Queen's quest. It was in the game's code, but they deactivated the requirements to start it. So you literally couldn't play the Snow Queen's quest. In the PSP remake, they fixed both of those things. They turned all the original character names, all the original character designs. They totally un-Americanized it back to normal. My boy Mark, he wasn't black-faced anymore. Mark was cool. I liked Mark. Mark was the guy who, as you could tell, became black in the original. But yeah, and they localized the Snow Queen's quest in the remake. So I did the Snow Queen's quest, and you know what? You guys weren't missing much. I mean, story wise, it's okay. I definitely, both gameplay and story wise, prefer the main route. But the Snow Queen's quest, oof. The big thing about that is that the entirety of the Snow Queen's quest takes place like in one hub, right? That directly connects you to the dungeons, and there's like three of them. There's like three main dungeons, and there's like a fourth one to the side that's literally just there for you to grind. Because once you beat one of the other dungeons, you can't go back in. And little did I know, you have to collect these shards during your playthrough in order to get like the true ending. You have to get at least 8 of them out of 12. But they don't directly tell you how to get the shards, and there's like different methods to get them. So I got a good amount, and I got to the part where you're almost at the end, where you try to use the shards. And basically, it didn't look good. It looked like I was getting the bad ending, so I looked it up, and it's like, yeah, you need at least 8 shards to get the good ending. And I'm like, I have 7 shards. And I didn't have any good safety saves. So you know what I did? You know what I fucking did? Damn right, I played the whole thing again. Just to get the proper ending. I'm so stupid. Alright. You know what? Now I'm like, no. I'm not letting this game win. I want to be able to say I beat the Snow Queen's quest properly. And I did. And my god, it was so grindy. I had to, like... And the weird thing is, if you do the dungeons in reverse order from hardest to easiest, you actually get some, like, really good rewards. But in order to, like, do that, you need to grind your ass off in the beginning of the game, because you don't have access to the grinding dungeon until after you complete one of the main dungeons. So that means before you even get to, like, that part in the school, you have to grind. Where all the enemies are, like, level 5. You have to grind to, like, level 40 or some shit. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I don't care how much I'm missing out on. Oh, so that was an ordeal. I had to deal with that. That was quite interesting. But yeah, unless you're diehard, don't play it. Don't bother. And then I played Persona 2. So first there was Persona 2 Innocent Sin. Then there was Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. Innocent Sin... Actually, both games had a PSP remake, because they were originally for the PS1. However, this was how it worked, right? The original Innocent Sin was not localized. The original PS1 Innocent Sin was not localized. The PSP remake of Innocent Sin was. So that's how you play it, which is proper. Like, if it's the remake, they've got all the improvements, and great. Eternal Punishment is the other way around. The original PS1 version was localized, and the remake wasn't. Why they did that, I don't know. So I was like, alright, I'll worry about that later. I'll play Innocent Sin first. And it was really solid. I liked it a lot. Wasn't nearly as grindy, for sure. But then again, like, anything's not grindy compared to Persona 1. But, oh god, that game it got fucking insane. There were, like, there are aliens and Nazi transformer planes and friggin' Lovecraftian creatures. It was crazy, but it was awesome. It was really, really insane. But I liked it, and it was it was interesting. Honestly, that was probably my favorite out of the three that I played. Innocent Sin was probably my favorite. Eternal Punishment is pretty close behind. I preferred Innocent Sin though. When it came to Eternal Punishment, I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta play the PS1 version. So I had the PS1 classic version on my PS TV, and I started to play it, and then I'm like, this is really hard to do with like the restriction, because I was used to like Innocent Sin's PSP like editions and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of annoying to do. Then I found out there, like literally like a few months ago, like fans translated the PSP remake of Eternal Punishment and put it on a ROM. So I'm like, oh shit, I can properly play it on emulator. So I did. I actually played the English version on emulator, and which was much better, except for the voice acting, because obviously they didn't, they couldn't have new voice acting, so they had to use the old ones, which were terrible. Uh, but besides that, it was quite interesting. I wasn't as engaged with Eternal Punishment. I think my biggest problem was I liked the characters in Innocent Sin a little more than Eternal Punishment. Except for Tatsuya, who got better in Eternal Punishment. He got way better. Tatsuya was so in Innocent Sin, your main character, like the silent character you play as, his actual name is Tatsuya. And in the second game, you play as Maya, who was in the first game. But it's kind of weird since, she was like an actual character in the first game, and then she just turns into silent protagonist in the second game. It's very strange. And then Tatsuya does the other way around, but that feels a little more natural. But Tatsuya, he's such a badass. Like in the first game, like he's cool, but he just kind of fulfills the role as like playable avatar kind of thing. In the second game, it's like a whole character. He has like a tragic shit he's dealing with, and he's just so fucking good at everything. He kicks ass, man. It's awesome. I think Tatsuya might now have become my second favorite Persona protagonist, right behind Joker. It was you, Narukami from Persona 4, but I'm sorry. Tatsuya is just way too cool. Oh yeah, he kills people too. He straight up kills people. Like, he doesn't sometimes. Like, if he doesn't have to. But no. He described one situation where he literally bisected someone. So that was interesting. He's cool. I like him. He wears red and black as well. And I like that, in case you can't tell. So, yeah, that was my experience with the first three Persona games, summed up in like half an hour. Because, I can't shut up about... Speaking of can't shut up about Persona... Persona 3 Reload. Oh, we've been getting so much information about Persona 3 Reload. It looks so fucking good, man. It looks so good. See, I can't even remember how much information we had on Persona 3 Reload when I last streamed. Because I don't think we had much. So I have so much to talk about. Oh my god, you guys are ready for another half hour of me just gushing? Sorry. I'm dying. Okay. Yeah. So we got a bunch of information about Persona 3 Reload. You go, girl. Thank you. I am I like your pretty French girls? Yeah, Persona 3 Reload. For those unaware, Persona 3 Reload is the remake of Persona 3 that's coming out in February. That I already pre-ordered. Pre-ordered the deluxe edition with the Iga statue and everything. Better believe I'll show you guys that when I friggin' get it. And you better believe I'll stream it. And I guess it was destiny, because if you guys remember, I tried to stream Persona 3 FES, like the original Persona 3, and and the game crashed and would not fix itself. So, yeah, I guess it was telling me to wait, because then soon after that they announced the Persona 3 remake, and I'm like, alright, I guess we'll just wait for that. Oh, you know what? Funny thing. To tell you just how long uh, it's been since I last streamed, I not only played the original Persona trilogy, but I replayed Personas 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I skipped a bunch of like cutscenes and stuff because I've seen them already, but yeah. Well, now I have a proper perspective when I go to play the Persona 3 remake, because I replayed the original Persona 3, and I'm so excited, so psyched. I've been seeing every week they release a new character trailer, and I think they almost ran out. They're releasing a new character trailer for like each member of the main party. They did the hello. Hello, Chisaki Celestial Moon. Welcome, welcome. How are you? I'm just gushing about the things that happened while I was gone, assumed dead. Yeah, anyway, get back to my gushing. Alright, gushing is great. Okay, cool. I'm gushing about Persona 3 Reload that's coming out in February. And they've been releasing like character trailers for each of the main party members. So like they started with the protagonist and they went to Yukari and then on and on. And they just released Ken's. So the only one that's left is Shinjiro. So I don't know what they're going to do after that. But I'm psyched because it also seems like they're going to give Shinjiro more screen time, which he definitely needs it. But the weirdest thing is trying to get used to the new voice actors, because they recast like the whole cast. Everyone has a new voice actor except for like I think they kept Tara Platt as Elizabeth. I think that was the only one they kept, which is weird because Tara Platt also played Mitsuru in the original, but Mitsuru has a new voice actress, so I don't know. That's just what I heard. I don't know. Some of the new voice actors sound like the original, but some of them are definitely like different. I've never played a Persona game. Oh well, I'm sorry if I'm if I'm boring you, but I have a fondness for them, for the Persona games, just a little bit. So that's why I gush. I think, but yeah, I think that the characters that are the biggest difference when it comes to speaking, some of them are a good difference. Like Fuka and Ikutsuki in the original. The original had some rough voice acting, to say the least. It had some really shit voice acting, and Fuka and Ikutsuki were definitely the characters that were like the worst voice acted in the game. And they both sound great now, especially Ikutsuki. He's probably the best improvement in the entire cast. I somewhat had for like 12 minutes, then my brother took over, and I never got to touch him again. Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. We'll have to send your brother into an accident so we can retrieve it and fully experience it. I was like, alright, bro, tell me you always like the games I choose. Steal the console. And then take the controller that he uses and put it in Jello. No, I'm just kidding. Set it on fire. Pour some gasoline on there. Lighter fluid, that works too. Or you can do the classic like can of aerosol with a little lighter. Now I'm a proud older sister. Okay, well, sorry, I'm just thinking of what I would do with my siblings. Set things on fire is usually what I resort to, but I guess it's can't solve all your problems. I mean, solve most of mine. Take that, Dad. Okay, anyway. I think I'm pretty much. Oh yeah. I was talking about the voice actors. Yeah, the ones that are different are like, I'm very giving. I take care of my siblings. Oh, well, we're not alike at all. You always resort to arson. Well, yeah, it's fun. Fire is fun. And you know what? I have a feeling that they might have put me in a Mike Judge cartoon a long time ago. For my fondness of fire. Just a feeling. Anyway. All I was going to say is that there were 3 characters whose voices are very different. And one of them is my favorite character in the game. So I'm going to have to get used to that. Because one of the characters is a robot. And in the original, she speaks like a robot. But throughout the game, she, like, learns more and kind of becomes more human. So she, like, talks more human. But it seems like in the remake, she just sounds like a human, like, the whole time. And it's very strange. Akihiko is very different because he had, like, a gruff teenage voice in the original. And now he has, a really deep voice. And it's very, very unsettling. But I'm going to have to get used to that. And then there's Ken, who was also one of my favorite characters. He's, like, the elementary schooler of the group. And in the original, I actually thought his voice acting was kind of decent. That might be a hot take, though. And in this remake, like, I mean, typically you get, like, young women, like, in their, like, 20s or 30s to voice act for, like, young little boys, right? They typically do that, like Nancy Cartwright, or Tara Strong or Debbie Derryberry, they typically go to that. And they did that for Ken in the original, but, like, he still sounded like a little boy. But in the new one, I just hear the woman. Like, I don't hear a little boy anymore. So I'm gonna have to get used to that. But it's okay. When a new trailer pops down next week, I'll just gush again. But that's about it. That's all I can think of. That happened. I bought some games on Black Friday. I took advantage of some sales. I was gonna buy some of the newer Nintendo stuff. Like, I wanted the Mario RPG remake and I wanted Mario Wonder. And I'm like, oh, it's Black Friday. I'll check that. Oh, it's still $60. I forgot Nintendo doesn't like the word sale. So, yeah, I stayed away from those. But I did get quite a few. I got five games. 3 of them were Sonic games. I didn't plan that. I just happened to find the deal, and then after I was, like, buying them all, I'm like, oh shit. It's a lot of Sonic games. I got Sonic Origins Plus, so I can play all the old Sonic games now. I might stream that. you guys be interested in that? I've played some of the old Sonic games. I played the first two to completion, right? First two? I think so. And then I played Sonic CD to completion. But other than that, I haven't really played any of the first few. So I want to go back and do that. I got Sonic Superstars, which to be honest, I wasn't like completely interested in, but it was like the thing where I saw the sale and I bought it, and then I'm like, huh, you know, I didn't really have to buy that one. But I'm still interested. And then I got the one that I was probably most excited to get was Sonic Frontiers. That one isn't here yet. That one's coming like Friday. But Friday? What's today? No. Like never mind. Like Sunday, Monday. I'm forgetting the days. They're all blending together now. But yeah, I'm been excited for Sonic Frontiers just cuz it's been so long since I've played a good 3D Sonic game, and people said that one was pretty good for the most part anyway. And it looks like fun. So I'm definitely going to stream that sometime soon. And then one other one was I got a Hat in Time again. I know I already have it, but I had it for my Switch, right? And like everyone was getting on me because I got the Switch version, and I was like, oh, some of these frame rates, oh, some of these graphics, they're so bad, and they're like, that's what you get for playing the Switch version. So I'm like, fine, I'm gonna get the PS4 version. I'm gonna see what it is in its full glory. And I've been playing it, and it's the exact fucking same. There's still frame rate issues, and there's still some, like, graphical inferiorities. Don't get me wrong, the game itself is amazing. It's funny, it's fun as hell, it's probably one of my favorites. Might be, like, my favorite collect-a-thon platformer. You know, but yeah, no, they didn't fix that at all in the PS4. So now I have two of them, which is fun. I mean, at least I did the same thing way back when Sonic Colors Ultimate released. I got the Switch version, and then had frame rate issues, and it didn't look that great. And then when I got the PS4 version, it was like those were fixed. Like it looked great and it ran great. I mean, there was that bug that made me lose all my save data. But that was a one-time thing. God, I don't know if I've ever been more mad at a game. You know, you get frustrated at games sometimes. You know, you're playing certain parts and you know, you're playing Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. I've never played that, but I've seen people rage at it. But man, imagine playing a game for, I mean, Sonic Colors actually isn't that long, and I'm pretty good at it. So it takes me a couple hours, but still, I was like, come on, man. I think that's the only time in my life I've filed a complaint to a company about a game because I was so pissed. I posted on Twitter about it, how freaking mad I was. It was the PS4 version too that erased it. I was like, oh, come on. And then someone, another VTuber who I know is a big Sonic fan, she was like, you can actually submit a complaint to them. And I'm like, good idea. I will. And I did. And I don't know if, like, obviously that bug is, well, I mean, I guess I don't know for sure, but that bug is most likely fixed now. It was probably fixed pretty quickly. I was so mad, though. I got way off topic, but, you know, that's how my tangents go. So, yeah, I got Sonic Frontiers. I got Sonic Superstars. I got Sonic Origins. And then I got a Hat in Time. And then the last thing I got, I actually did get a Nintendo Switch game that I found on sale. I know, unbelievable. It was Shin Megami Tensei 5. So that was the next Shin Megami Tensei on my list to play. because, as you guys know, I tried the third one and I wasn't a big fan. I didn't think it was like crap or anything. I just was kind of disappointed by it, you know. I expected it to be a little more engaging, but it kind of just ended up being stupid. Some of the story stuff, you know, because like story in that was like, oh, there's like a couple people who can like remake the world, but they all have different opinions on how it should be done. And it's like, do you agree with like the idea of isolation? Do you agree? I agree with the idea of survival of the fittest. But like each of the characters' reasons and like for like how they wanted to remake the world was just really fucking stupid. And I don't think anyone with any sense would choose any of them. So that's why I was like, I don't really feel like this is a choice. I'm just gonna be the good guy. So that's what I did. I was the good guy. And I got the ending I wanted. Apparently, I knew that some people, I wouldn't say they were upset, but they wanted me to take another route where I basically just go complete evil and I still don't agree with everyone, but instead I basically just kill everyone. And so I didn't want to do that because I wanted to be like, oh, I want to do what I would do. But turns out I didn't know this. There's an extra final boss after the first final boss if you go like the full demon route. If I had known that, then I probably would have gone full demon just to fight the extra final boss. And I've seen the extra, and I watched it. I watched someone fight it, and oof, that would have been hard. So, yeah, that was my experience with SMT3. I mean, you literally could go watch it right now. I have it all archived. But yeah, that was interesting. I So I got SMT5 because that's the most recent one, and everyone said it was pretty good. I heard mixed things about the story, but I'm hoping that the gameplay is better. Mainly, I've seen like some foot. I try not to look anything up, but I've seen like some battle footage and stuff. My God, it looks beautiful. I was astounded. The game looks so great, like visually, like the battles and the effects and the demons. They all look stunning. I was surprised. I'm like, this is on a Switch. This is a Switch exclusive. So yeah, I got that. The only one I don't have in my possession yet is Sonic Frontiers. But I've been playing A Hat in Time in my spare time. Get it? But I was hoping to get back to streaming. I mean, obviously as soon as possible. But there was a point where I'm like, all right, I'll probably get back to streaming like right before Halloween. Obviously, that didn't pan out. But because I had an idea of what I wanted to play for Halloween. I'm like, oh, this will be really funny. Let's do this for Halloween. And then Halloween came and went, and I still couldn't get back to streaming. So that's going to have to be saved for next year. I kind of want to keep it a surprise, but it sounds kind of annoying to keep it a surprise for a whole year. So let me just say, I found out that I could buy Night Trap on my Switch. So I wanted to play Night Trap for Halloween. But I mean, I don't want to play it now. I want to save it for Halloween. It's such a good idea for Halloween. If anyone actually knows what Night Trap is. It's a very old what was it for? Sega CD? It was probably for a couple of things, but I think it was like primarily for Sega CD. Where Night Trap was one of the games that led to the creation of the rating system. Actually, it was very controversial at the time. It was like Night Trap and Mortal Kombat led to the creation of the rating system, the ESRB. which is funny because I mean Mortal Kombat, like you can kind of see, but if you look at Night Trap today, you're like, I don't even get like why this was controversial, and maybe it's just because like it's tame by today's standards. I guess I should explain Night Trap. Hold on, let me drink some more. Delicious. So, Night Trap was a game where they really wanted to show off that Sega CD could do like full motion video kind of thing. So it's more of like in one of those interactive DVD games, you know the ones. So you're just kind of watching a movie unfold about these teenagers at like a slumber party or whatever, right? And you can switch to different cameras in the house, and everything's playing out, in real time. So, but you're basically a member of like a SWAT team or whatever. So you're watching the cameras because you're trying to catch the bad guys because there's bad guys coming to the house. And they're vampires, I think. I guess they're vampire. I'm actually looking at the picture right now, and they have the teeth, so I guess they're vampires that are trying to kidnap the kids and stuff. Uh, so basically, you have to find the vampires in each room, and then if you find them in a room, you have to press a button at a certain time, and then the video will play where they like a trap happens, and then they get like they fall into a hole or get trapped in a glass box or something like that. So and that was the game. It was just like a movie that was happening, and every once in a while if you saw a bad guy you could press a thing to capture them. You didn't have to. You could just watch someone die, but I guess I guess that was it. And apparently it's very difficult. Because, they kind of had to make it difficult. Because it's like, what? How long can it be? Like, what? Like an hour? Hour or two of footage? And then that's it? So... but I've never played it. And it just seems ridiculous. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, let's do Night Trap. Then Halloween came and went. So next year, I might forget. I'm relying on you guys to remind me. You guys will remind me, right? Like right before Halloween, you'd be like, oh, you said you'd play Night Trap. Like, oh yeah, thank you. I will play Night Trap. That's what I'm gonna sound like next year. What else happened? Oh, I'm just staring at my Switch menu right now because I had an idea of something to do today, and I kind of really don't want to anymore. Because like right before I stopped streaming, right before I went on hiatus, I had two games going on like I normally do. I was playing Devil May Cry, which we got a couple episodes in Devil May Cry. But then we were finishing up the Shantae series. Literally was one stream away from finishing up the last Shantae game in the series. And so I'm like, oh, that probably won't take very long, because I think it's just like one final dungeon and then a final boss, and that's probably it. So I'm like, oh, maybe today I'll go back to the game, and for like 15-20 minutes before the stream I was like I booted up again. I'm like, alright, let me remember the controls and shit. And I'm like, oh, maybe after talking for a while during the stream we'll just go back and we'll finish that fucker, because Jesus Christ, like I don't even remember what's going on in the game. But when I booted it up I remembered one of the reasons that I like Shantae so much. Because there's just titties everywhere. I mean, hey, that's one thing that earns points with me. I'm not saying like that's I'm gonna judge. I'm gonna judge it as a whole simply based on that, but it definitely helps the experience. You have a bunch of nice pears up there. You know, pears more like watermelons. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, now like I don't feel like playing anything today. I kind of just want to chat, just kick back, relax. My new plan is that when I do stream, I want to stream for 3 hours, and I'll start around 5 because that's the time that works for me. And now that it's in the evening time, it'll be more accessible to people. Probably not you guys overseas. I don't know what time it is for you, but I was streaming like midday before, and I live on the East Coast, so like even in America, like on the West Coast, it was like early in the morning. So now if I'm streaming at like 5 to 8, it'll be later in the day for most people. So they'll probably be more available, hopefully. So that's my current plan. I might end up taking Wednesdays off, uh, just because I gotta do something on Wednesdays. But not this Wednesday, obviously. But you know, I might stream tomorrow. You know what? That's what I might do tomorrow. I might try and finish this freaking Shantae-a-thon. My God, now it's been like half the year has been me just streaming Shantae games now. And then there's that new one coming out, which I don't even know when they're coming out with that one, actually. I don't know if that one even has a release date. But yeah, that's the current plan. So something else that I did, they finally released all of the Mario Kart 8 DLC. And I don't know how much I've mentioned this before, but plan seems good? Okay, cool. Alright. I'm glad I have approval now. I don't know how many times I mentioned this, if at all, but I'm kind of a Mario Kart fanatic. I'm pretty damn good at it, alright? I'm not like super great, but like, I could play all the cups on 200cc and get first place. Okay. Alright, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I might not get first place every race, but, I know what I'm doing, so, yeah. I mean, I just got here, so my opinion doesn't matter. Everyone's opinion matters. Except for, like, Nazis. Or, like, pedophiles. Okay, so not everyone's opinion matters, but I doubt you're any of those things. Well, you better get all the first place trophies. Well, I get all the first place trophies. I do get first place at the end of the cup. It's just, every single race I might not get first place. But a cumulative over the course of 4 races, I get enough points, and then that's all that matters. You are funny. Smacks button. Thank you. My thank you depends on what button you're smacking. Because there it is. Okay. I was like, I assume it's the follow button, but I don't know if my alerts are working. Yep, they're working. I forgot to turn them up too. But whatever. I mean, that was so delayed. My alerts are so delayed. I don't know why. Even my redeems are actually pretty delayed. Let me try a redeem. Like if I do one myself, it might be quicker. Oh, there we go. Oh, why is it so tiny? It played the sound much earlier than the visual, and I don't know why the visual is so tiny. I guess I gotta fix that. At least my milk is delicious, though. I'm happy. I'm happy with that one. Yeah, that was a shame. Like right before I I stopped. I went on hiatus. That I added those new sound alerts. So and then I went on hiatus. I'm like, no, can't use them now. Yes, points. Time to hoard like a dragon. Hoard like the Smaug. I've gotten to the point where like I listen to a lot of YouTube in the background. You know, that's a thing to do when I'm like replaying. Now that I'm replaying A Hat in Time, or when I was grinding in the Persona games, or when I'm just racing in Mario Kart 8. I've been putting YouTube in the background as much as possible, and I'll just like it just leads to the most random shit that ends up being interesting to me. It's okay, I do that too. Yeah, that one and something that I heavily recommend is is this video. I've actually seen the video before, but I'm putting it on again because it's so good. Is a guy talking about the speedrunning history of like The Hobbit, which was not like any. It's not a recent game. It was a game apparently made in like the early 2000s, based off directly based off the book, like not based on any of the movies. And it was for like GameCube, and so he talks about the speedrunning history of it, and it's like the video's like so long. It's hours long, and it's like the most random shit. Like I mean I like speedrunning and stuff like that, but like it kind of takes a lot to get me engaged in one of those videos. But I was so gripped. I was like, I can't stop watching this. I can't stop watching a speedrunning history of a game no one played back in the early 2000s. It was The Hobbit. That's what made me think of it because I mentioned Smaug. And then that made me think of the Rankin Bass. It was Rankin Bass, right? The Rankin Bass cartoon Hobbit. I grew up watching that movie. In case, there was a movie based on The Hobbit before the recent ones. And when I say recent, I guess they're not so recent anymore, but still. Way back when, there was an animated movie of The Hobbit made by Rankin Bass. You might know who Rankin Bass is because they made those like stop motion Christmas specials. Like the Rudolph one was the probably the most famous one. The one that had the elf that wanted to be a dentist, and then the like mountain explorer who fought off the abominable snowman. That was made by Rankin Bass. Like it apparently also made a cartoon movie about the Hobbit. And I grew up with that movie. I have to watch. I really want to watch it again because I do remember a couple things from it, but I don't remember if it was good or not. It wasn't split into 3 fucking movies, that's for sure. It wasn't like the more recent ones. It was just one movie. The animated movie, yeah. God. It stares at my shelf. Hell yeah. I don't even have it anymore. I think when I was growing up, we had it on DVD. So I probably don't have it anymore, which is funny because like I have my old VHS stuff from when I was younger, but I don't have some of my DVDs. Maybe it's because it was my dad's. My dad took a lot of his stuff with him, whereas I kind of like hoarded anything I could here. Because my dad was a huge Lord of the Rings nerd. That's probably why I grew up with that movie in the first place. I have VHS stuff too. Yeah, most of my VHS stuff is probably like my old Pokemon VHS tapes. Each one had 3 episodes on it, and then most of them had the Poke Rap, and then they had trailers. I feel like we're kind of dating ourselves. I mean, I've always felt dated. The Poker Rap? Hell yeah. I also had a DVD, a random DVD. Actually, no, I had a couple, like, DVDs of, like, I had every Pokemon movie up to the 8th one. And I think I own all of them up to the 8th one. And then I really enjoyed the Gold and Silver Poke Rap that no one talks about. No one talks about the Johto Poke Rap. That shit was also catchy as hell. And there was a Hoenn Poke Rap, but I didn't even know that one existed until years later, and it's completely shit and no one likes it. So oh my god, do me a favor, move your face to look to the right and then the left. Are you looking at my nose? How my nose flips from side to side. Yeah, I can try and like center myself so it kind of like disappears. It's weirdly adorable. Oh, thank you. I'm flattered. What if I do it like this? Yeah, I have my facial animations. I still have them here. Boops you can't boop me if I don't have a nose. If I kind of. All right, fuck it. Never mind. You know what? There are also a lot of things I remember from those old Pokemon VHS tapes that had nothing to do with Pokemon. Mainly, there was the commercial for the Game Boy games. Already booped, could not run from me. I don't want to run. I'm too lazy today. I'm sitting. I slept for like 2 hours after I got home. I was like, oh, this is nice. Now I can stream. You started to gather a group of VTubers now, Volt. Okay. What do you plan on doing with that? Anyone remember the commercial for the Pokemon Red and Blue, where it's the bus driver, and he gets all the Pokemon onto the bus, then he brings it to a giant like compactor, and he crushes the bus with all the Pokemon inside of it. Yeah, you know what? When I was little, I didn't really think much of it. But now I'm just like, what the fuck? That was fucked. I mean, he crushed the bus, and then like when the compactor thing like came out, like it turns out he crushed him into a Game Boy. Like that was the thing. Like, you know, you can catch all these Pokemon on your Game Boy now. They're all crammed into your Game Boy. It was still screwed up though, because you know he got them all onto a bus. And he was all happy about it. He's like, hop on, little guy. He's like, Pika. He's like, yeah, whatever. Stops the bus. Is like, I'll be right back. Crushes everyone in the bus. It's great. I love it. One of them is my boyfriend. The other ones I just want to watch. Oh, okay. So you don't want to watch your boyfriends. All right. I mean, that's a little cruel, but, you know, whatever. Am I in the group that you want to watch? I mean, I assume I am, because that's what you're doing right now. I gotta keep myself hydrated so I don't die. You know what I also remember? I also remember the trailer for other like anime things. Uh, Damn, being collected like a Pokemon. Vault, vault, Voltosaur. I mean, I don't just want to watch the boyfriend. I want to participate. I'm gonna use that next time I go cruising for chicks. Just gonna be like, hey baby, you wanna participate? They're gonna be like, what the fuck? Who are you? I'm like, come on. You know what I mean. A little bit of the like. I'll leave it up to your imagination how I made that noise. uh, yeah, Voltosaur. No, I'd probably be a Voltosaur, Voltachew, Voltamander, Voltivore. No, probably not that one. That one would be a little creepy. You know what? You said that to me. I'll be like, participate, bet, participate. Click on keyboard, drags and play video games. Probably yoinking your cheek. It's like, the the meme you see everywhere where it's like, hey girl, wanna come back to my place and smash? And then she's like, oh yeah. And then they go back and they're like playing Smash Brothers. You know, that totally hilarious joke that you haven't heard a billion fucking times. My god. Anyone I meet that's like not familiar with the gaming world but like knows about Smash Brothers, they're like, hey, you know, you seen this one where they invite him over to Smash, but it's just Smash Brothers? Get it? Because you like Smash Brothers, and they're talking about Smash. And I'm like, oh my god, I get it. All right, yeah, it was funny. Like maybe half funny the first time I saw it. I mean, I would smash with a boyfriend. Yeah. I mean, I would smash. You know, as long as you know we can smash together. You know, it's like it's up to 8 players. You know, we could have a tournament. We could take turns smashing. Just saying. Break out the final smash. Not too much into Smash Brothers personally. That's alright. We don't have to be friends. I'm kidding. I'm bad at it. That's fine. I am too. I'm actually I'm in a weird position with Smash Brothers. It's a very uncomfortable position where uncomfortable position smash. Basically I'm not good at Smash. I'm not on a level where I can like play competitively online, but I'm better than all my friends. So I'm out of place in both situations. Like if I play with my friends, I'm just gonna win most of the time, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, shocker, Volt won again." But if I play it online, I get my ass kicked, and I'm like, "All right, I'll play Mario Kart with you. Hell yeah!" Now that I could do competitively. Although, typically when I play Mario Kart online, I just get fucked over by items mainly. I don't own Mario Kart or Mario Party. I mean, unless you're like a big fan of those games, you pretty much are only gonna play them with other people. So if you don't really have other people that you want to play with those games, then they're really not worth having, you know. But I love Mario in general. He's up there. My favorite Nintendo franchises. hot take. I think I like Mario stuff more than Zelda. But I've always thought Zelda was like kind of overrated. I like Zelda. Let me start with that before the pitchforks rise. I like Zelda. I just don't think it's like the epitome of gaming, you know? Like a lot of people seem to think, you know. I mean, I clearly expressed my opinions about Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, we played that on stream. I was so uh, I was so amazed when I was like looking through my game collection. When I was like, oh, I streamed that. Oh, I streamed that. Oh, I streamed that. I was like, oh my god, how many games have I streamed at this point? Gotta be like 30. At least. Try to grab games that I'm okay doing solo as well. Yeah, me too. Yeah, unless like there's some times I make exceptions. You know, Mario Party is one where I'm like, I'm probably not gonna play that by myself, at least too much. You know, I got like Jackbox games. You know, obviously I'm not gonna play that by myself. But like Mario Kart, I definitely will do. Except recently, there's a few games I cannot do solo. Well, that's the thing. I'm a very solo guy. I fly solo. You know, I'm too cool for other kids at school. So I just kind of I mean that's why I don't really do a lot of collabs or multiplayer games. It's not like a personal thing with other people. I just do my own thing. That's just how I live, you know. Not that I don't want to do those things. I definitely want to do more collabs with VTuber friends of mine. Definitely, for sure. Mm. That's just your preference, and that's okay. Yeah, exactly. See, Dad? It's just the way I live, and you don't have to judge me. No, but yeah. Yeah, I typically play solo, which is funny because like even when I play Mario Kart, like I never play online. I just play by myself, and I enjoy it. You know, pats your head. Why do I feel like it's a pat out of pity? You're just like, that's okay. You can like what you like. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, thanks, great. It's okay. Older sister Chisaki accepts you. Thank you. So where'd your name come? Chisaki Celestial Moon. I like asking people where their names come from. No, I'm sure I asked you at some point, and I apologize because I honestly forgot. I was trying to think of a joke involving a character named Chisaki, but then I realized, despite the amount of like anime games that I occasionally play, I don't know a single character named Chisaki. Pure Roleplay, I didn't even choose it, it was given to me. Oh, alright. Well, that works. Yeah, no, out of all the Persona games, I can't think of a single character named Chisaki. There's a Chisato, who you don't even see because she's dead, but that's probably the closest. Uh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, clearly I'm very French. You know. Rare moments finding a Chisaki. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really. I know this is gonna be a weird thing to say, but I don't really watch anime. I was thinking maybe possibly getting into anime. You know, I mean, like I've seen anime before. Like I liked a Death Note, but beyond that, I didn't really dive deep into it. Except for like Yu-Gi-Oh, but that was like nostalgia. Except for actually, I did. I was going through a point, and I might try going through again, where I like. That's another thing I had on. I like to have on in the background, where it's just like old Yu-Gi-Oh. I just went through. It's time to die. Yeah, I recently just marathoned the entire original series, uh, which is like, is it a good show? Not really, especially after all the censorship. But is it entertaining? Absolutely, it is entertaining as hell. Um, and then I watched both movies based on the original show. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, which I remember watching when it came out when I was a kid, and I thought it was great. And it's actually like pretty bad. It's a bad movie. It's not worth. Even if you're a fan of the show, it's not a good movie. It's just kind of dumb. But then I rewatched uh, the anniversary movie they made, Dark Side of Dimensions, which is a good movie. Damn. Dark Side Dimensions. Now I'm just thinking about Dark Side Dimensions, how good it was. But anyway, a while ago, I marathoned uh, all the series, and I wanted to see how far I could make it. I made it to Arc 5, and it just got so stupid. Arc 5, my god. Actually, you know what? Let's work our way up. All right. The original series, there's a lot of dumb shit that doesn't make any sense. It's entertaining, and there's a nostalgia factor, and there actually is some like good story stuff in there occasionally, you know. Uh, so yeah, then there was Yu-Gi-Oh GX, which was the epitome of like, oh, we gotta make Yu-Gi-Oh like for the young people. We gotta make it for the cool kids now, you know. So that's why it's set at a school, and like they're all like, I mean, they're all still teenagers, but it's about them going to school, which is something that I'm pretty sure they never did in the original show. Despite them being teenagers, I don't think they went to school like more than 2 times in the entire show. It was pretty funny. But yeah, they were like, that's why the new intro to the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX was like, yeah, you just gotta get all cool and stuff. And it was still like somewhat entertaining. It was just kind of, what the hell, Yugi? You did, yeah. Yugi doesn't need school. He's busy trying to save the world because he has a spirit of an old man inside of him. Kind of creepy when you think about it. Young kid, spirit of an old man living in his body. It's really funny how no one. He was a delinquent. Yeah. I mean, I guess he never got suspended. I never realized that. I mean, it's true. I mean, he might have amnesia, but he's still like 5,000-year-old man, a little kid's body. You know, you gotta love how like no one noticed that Yugi and the Pharaoh were different people, despite the fact that when he transformed, right, he got taller, his eyes are like have a different, his face is different, and his voice is so much deeper, and he has a completely different personality, and no one realized that he literally turned into a different person until like season, what, like 4 out of 5. They were like, oh, I get it. um that was really, it reminded me of like Ash in Pokemon never recognizing Team Rocket, you know. But at least with Team Rocket, like they try to like put on like an act and stuff, and yeah, it's pretty obvious from looks, but at least they try to disguise it. He gets taught the clothes are less baggy. Yeah, exactly. Like, they've known this kid his whole life, and he becomes a completely different person. They're like, wow, Yugi, you're a you seem like a completely different person when you duel. It's weird. I don't know what's with that. So ridiculous. But you know what? It was cool. It was cool. No one died. Remember, in the English version, no one dies. Everyone just passes out or gets sent to the Shadow Realm or whatever. Despite the fact that the original show, like, everyone fucking died. Yo, I would have been like, where do you go from timid to Master Rizzler? That's what I'm gonna refer to the Pharaoh as. He spent the whole time looking for his true name. You know what it was? Master Rizzler. I have one of my favorite memes I have on my phone. It's like, you know, the comparison meme, like the Winnie the Pooh style ones, where the first one is just him looking all bored, and the next one is him in a suit, you know, because it's like a more fancy version of something. I have one with Kaiba, where Kaiba looks disappointed in the first picture, and he looks happy in the second picture. And in the first area, it says boomer, like if you call someone a boomer and he looks unhappy, and when he looks happy, it's like senile old fool. Don't say boomer anymore. Call him what the fuck? Successfully downloaded update data. Sorry, like I said, I have my Switch open. It updated Mario Kart. Okay, strange. Rizzing up that Dark Magician, because my god, that card always be a play. It was his signature card. Of course it always got played. Alright. Confession. I was the Dark Magician for Halloween when I was a kid. 1 year. It's true. I wish I had the picture. I might... You know what? I might ask my mom after the stream's over to see if she has the picture. Because I was the Dark Magician and my brother was Link that year. And my mom is pretty skilled at creating those costumes. She made it. She made the Dark Magician costume for me. And the little furball, Karibo, yeah. Karibo, who, you know, kind of sucks. Funnily enough, season 4 of Yu-Gi-Oh, like, for the longest time, like, there's always been a ton of cards from the show that they never made into real cards, but season 4 had like all of the signature cards from season 4 basically didn't exist. But recently, like within the last few years, they made them real, and one of them was the Karibo brothers. Those are real now. Where he summons the 5 Karibo brothers. That's a real thing. And they can merge together to create Curry Babylon. And there's also Curry Bandit. And they've also made, you know, a billion different Karibo variations throughout the years, so... You know, there's a Dark Magician Karibo. I forget what it's called. Magic Karibo? Something like that? I don't know. Something like that. Man, but you know what? I wish the Dark Side of Dimensions was out when I was a kid. Because in the Dark Side of Dimensions, Dark Magician, instead of purple, he wears black. It's so... And like, he's got gray hair, and his skin is like... I think it's white hair, actually, and his skin is, like, gray. He looks fucking badass. I actually have the card. I'm just here. Sorry, am I leaving you out of the conversation? I gushed about Persona, now I gotta gush about Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic Karibo. It is Magic Karibo. Okay, cool. Yep. And there was, we don't talk about how I know this. That's the thing, like, I like my Yu-Gi-Oh! And all. I suck at it, though. I only have one friend who I play with, and, yeah, no, he, like, plays meta stuff, and I just create, like, fun stuff. Nerds! I am proud to be a nerd. Even with this kind of stupid shit. Yep. I mean, my friend will be like, "Oh, I made a deck of what the I don't even remember. What were they called? It started with an I. I don't know. And like he had decks that were his turns would take like several minutes, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I'm playing Magician Girls. I play Apple Magician Girl. I still have those cards. I might still have that deck built. I don't know. I might have turned that into like a more of a dark magician deck than an actual magician girl deck. I'm MTG. I was talking to someone about that today actually. He asked, he's like, "Do you play Magic?" I'm like, I played Magic like once. So my friends I guess I'll tell the same story I told this person. Uh my I only watch people play it, but it does interest me. Yeah, I my friends are really into Magic, and they wanted to teach me. So basically we got this was years ago. So we got together, and they gave me like a basic example deck, full of some cards just to teach me how to play, and then they played with me, and then obviously I got my ass kicked. I had a deck worth 30K. Damn. I mean, you say you had it, so either something tragic happened or you are now 30K richer. But so yeah, my friends they gave me a basic deck, and I sucked obviously, but they were just teaching me the rules. So I'm like, okay, I'll make a deck on my own time. So I found a neat strategy I could go with, and I got some cards together. I'm like, I like this idea. So you know what I went with? Something tragic. Oh no, I'm sorry that happened. Was it magic? Anyway, so I found out there were cards in Magic that were red cards and had lightning on them, and as you might be able to tell, red lightning is like my shit. So I'm like, oh, what if I build like a deck that's kind of like that uses that stuff? It went up in flames at least. Oh no. That pun, my guy. I know. I. You're gonna have to get used to those. Hey, buddy. My cat hopped on my lap. If you're unaware, I have a cat. His name is Swiffer. You gonna be nice and not bite my cords today? Okay. And you can stay there. Yeah. So I found those cards, and I'm like, I'll build a deck. So like that. And so I did. Dad jokes are real with this one. Kitty, yeah, I actually, I think it's been a while since I've posted like a good pic of Swiffer on Twitter. Maybe I'll do that today. You got two cats? Oh man, I can barely handle this one. It's just me and him. Yeah, so I made a deck, and I'm like, okay, I'll play against one of my friends that taught me. So he's like, oh, I just made this deck, and I'll try it out with you. I'm like, okay. So we played, and I won. I felt pretty proud of myself. I'm like, hey, I guess this works. So I beat him, and he's like, oh, he was bummed that he lost to beginners. So we played again, and I won again. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's just like how our decks are built, because mine is like a fast burn deck, and his like took a while to build up. I think he had like a green deck or something. And I'm like, and maybe it's like just a bad matchup. So we switched decks for like the next game, and guess what? I still won. Yeah. And then I haven't played Magic since. I still have that deck. Those are the only cards I have though. It's just that one red deck that I made. Two cats live on your own, at least for now. Used to be just me in this one. Beginner's luck. Yes, 3 times in a row. Beginner's luck. It's my grandpa's deck. It had no pathetic cards, but it does contain unstoppable bullshit. Man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back to talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh show because I want to. We were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh GX, the cool one, the one that was hip with the kids, and yeah, I mean that's basically what it was until like season 3. Wow, that series took quite the turn. I think it was season 3. Yeah, where shit got like real. And the last episode of season 3 and the entirety of season 4 was never dubbed. So I had to go hunt down the sub version of it. And like it actually got like good. I couldn't believe it. I was like this dumbass Yu-Gi-Oh continuation that's like supposed to be hip with the kids all of a sudden took like a super dark turn and like and then it got like pretty entertaining and there was some cool shit in it. I was like, wow, we need that shit to get dubbed. I like the part where he duels against the Grim Reaper. That was pretty dope. Cause yeah, that happens. He literally like duels against death. It was like, what? I like the part where one of the guy transforms into a ghost dinosaur and goes into space to destroy a satellite. You might think that requires context to make sense. You don't. It makes just about as much sense without the with the context as without the context. Where a space superhero and a guy that basically transforms into a ghost dinosaur, goes into space to destroy a satellite that's set to mind control the planet. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Although I will say there is one character in GX that, at least for the first 2 seasons, was like one of the best characters ever. His name is Chaz. Yeah. He's like, the funny thing is like how he starts out versus like how he develops. Because in the beginning, like everything was so typical in the beginning of GX. It was like, oh, the main kid who's like kind of a prodigy, but he's also kind of a slacker, you know. And then there's like the super strict teacher, and then there's the school bully, you know. And that's what he was. Chaz was like the typical school bully who was like trying to get the main character in trouble and stuff. And then he ended up getting like kicked out of the school, right? And after that, he became awesome. He became a fucking badass, and he also became really funny. He has some of the best jokes. He's talking to one guy, and the guy, and by the he came from the Chaz came from a rich family, like bloody rich, and he's talking to this one guy, and he's like, "Enough for now. Talk is cheap." And he's like, "That may be, but I'm rich." And then there's one point he's getting angry, and there's someone telling him, they're like, "Careful, you don't want to bust an artery." He's like, "I don't care. I'll just buy a new one." It was great. I'm like, this guy's awesome. He's and he just like he owns everyone at one point, except like, and then after that he like loses every duel ever, and then they replace his voice actor at some point, and then he just got less cool. I'll always remember you, early GX Chaz. Other than that, not really anyone else. Everyone else was kind of boring in early GX. Then over time, we got actually some like pretty neat GX characters. like Bell, and Jim Crocodile Cook, the Australian guy who literally keeps a crocodile strapped to his back. He was awesome. He had a freaking like evil eye that he had to keep under an eye patch or some shit. I don't even remember what that was all about, but that was cool. Then there was like Axel Brody, whose dual disc was like a gun, who shot his cards. That like, and his cards were like fire cards. So I think sometimes when he shot them, they were literally like little fireballs. Yu-Gi-Oh gets fucking ridiculous, but it's so entertaining, man. It's like I like watching the duels a lot, just because like I enjoy the game, and I enjoy watching like the really weird shit they'll play and stuff. But like even outside of the duels, it's just so funny. Some of it's cool, some of it's like actually good, not much, but some of it is. Uh, well, after that, after GX came, what? There's like fucking 8 Yu-Gi-Oh series now, and that was the second one. I made it to the 5th one and gave up. I want to see if I can make it further though, because the 3rd series was Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds. That was the one where they duel while riding motorcycles, which was a huge meme, and I thought was gonna be really stupid. So I was like ready for it. I was like, all right, let's get ridiculous. I'm ready. I want to see the playing freaking a children's card game on motorcycles and acting like it's like freaking the fate of the world at stake. Guys, I don't know how to say this. 5Ds is actually pretty good. I couldn't believe it. And that's another thing that sucked is there was a good chunk of 5D's episodes that weren't dubbed either, including like the final chunk of episodes. So like the climax of the story just was never dubbed. It was a shame. I need to get back to anime. Well, I doubt you'll want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh. I doubt it. I mean, I'll tell you now, it's entertaining. But I mean, if you're like, that sounds fucking stupid, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're right. You probably shouldn't watch it. But it does get really funny. And 5Ds was pretty good. I actually liked a good amount of the story in 5Ds. But then we got to the 4th series, which was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, which, yeah, I think most people agree. Zexal sucked. Except for my friend who schools me at Yu-Gi-Oh! My only friend who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Other than, me. He liked Zexal. I mean, he watches the sub and I watch the dub. I watch the dub because I'm lazy, unless I have to watch the sub because there is no dub. But even despite that, I'm like, even watching the show, I'm like, even if the dialogue was different, I don't think this would be any better. Zexal wasn't that great. I mean, the main character sucked. Like, I thought Jaden from GX was kind of just eh. But no, Yumo was worse, for sure. And yeah, Zexal wasn't that great. I mean, for the first time since the original series, they actually dubbed every single episode. So I'll give it that. I'll give Zexal that. They actually dubbed every single episode. And then I made it to Arc 5, which was obviously the 5th series. It's so funny, and not in the intended way. It's essentially a parody. Like, again, not intended, but I think it just straight up ended up being a parody of Yu-Gi-Oh! It was so stupid and ridiculous, and a lot of it feels like a bad fan fiction. I'm not even kidding. It's like I couldn't take it after a while. That's why I stopped watching. I think part of it was burnout because I marathoned all the other series. But Arc 5, it's so funny. It's so bad. It's it's the definition of it's so bad it's good. It's like the Room of Yu-Gi-Oh series. But I haven't watched anything. I didn't finish Arc 5 and I haven't watched anything after. You know. I know Vrains came after. Was Vrains good? Vrains looks at least better. I don't know if it actually is though. And then after that, I don't care. Like after Vrains, they did what? There was Yu-Gi-Oh sevens, and then Yu-Gi-Oh was it go Yu-Gi-Oh Go Rush something? I don't know. After Vrains, it just looks like I don't care. So it's like that's the last one. I'm like, oh, I could see myself watching that. Yeah, I don't know. That was my Yu-Gi-Oh show experience. So there we go. See, that's the thing. I'm bad at small talk, but if you get me talking about something that I enjoy, like I don't shut up. So I think the past like 45 minutes was just me talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, and then occasionally mentioning my cat, and then going back to talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Which is, you know, something I was thinking about streaming, but I'm not sure about was Pokemon Scarlet, which I mean, on one hand, I haven't played, but on another hand, I've seen so many people play it that I basically know everything about it. Um, but Pokemon kind of lost me, which is a shame because, like, growing up, I have to say up until probably my late teens, it was my favorite series ever of anything, like games. Well, actually, primarily games, but like I loved Pokemon so much, but it just kind of fell off the fell off the what do you say? Fell off the bandwagon, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah. I mean, I hate to sound like a boomer or a senile old fool, but Pokemon is a thing where I'm like, yeah, it's not really that great anymore. Um, Not that it was like super, like, like the perfect before, but now it's just no, And I try to keep an open mind with that stuff. Like I try to look at things objectively, where I'm like, oh, just because it's newer doesn't mean that it's worse. I think I had that mindset when I was a teenager because that's when I was starting to get into retro games, and that was when I was like, oh, my favorite Zelda game is Ocarina of Time, and my favorite like Mario game is like, I don't know, Bowser's Inside Story or whatever. And nowadays I'm like, probably my favorite Zelda is like Breath of the Wild. You know, probably my favorite Mario is like Mario Odyssey. You know, I'm just like the newer stuff is better. It's just objectively. Uh, but like there's some things that I'm just like no, no. It's worse. And I think Pokemon's funny because it's like it's hard to say that it's worse because it's more like it hasn't gotten any better. Like you think something like that would get better or at least more interesting in every like new generate, not just Pokemon generation, but literally like every generation of games and stuff. You think it'd get better, but it just like it feels so stagnant. You know, like they try to add new features, but it still feels like. Sorry, I'm just sniffling a lot. I'm probably gonna die soon. You know. Uh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like that got pretty stagnant. You know, especially after Sword and Shield. Like I think Sword and Shield was where a lot of people were like, yeah, no. I think Scarlet and Violet brought some people back. Not really me. I own Scarlet, and I didn't buy it. It was given to me by someone who didn't want it. They're like, "Hey, I don't really play this. Do you want it?" I'm like, "I'll take it, I guess." I mean, I'm not gonna say no. So I was debating streaming that. Uh, I'm trying to like transfer all of my Pokemon over from like my personal account to my Volt account, just so like people can see all my Pokemon. I mean, I don't know how many I'll be able to show because like some of the original trainer ID will show like my real name, and it'd be like, oh shit. But like, it'd be nice to, because I have like two Nintendo accounts, and I'm like, whoa, I have a personal one and one for all my Volt stuff, and I'm like, well, I want to transfer everything over, but obviously that's tough because like, you know, even like stuff that I've uh, like DLC and games that I've bought on the eShop, that like you can't transfer that stuff over, so it's like it's kind of like all up in the air. But I tried to transfer all my Pokemon over, but I can't do that because you can't really transfer Pokemon from one home account to another. Uh, so you have to do it via game, and I can't transfer all my Pokemon via game because some Pokemon aren't even in any of the new games. So they're just kind of sitting in my old Pokemon home. Despite the fact I have a nearly complete living Pokedex. Nearly complete. Marshadow, Zarude, I will get you to someday. But now I got it's not complete anymore because now I got the Gen 9 stuff to worry about. But I don't know. Maybe I'll care enough in the future to start doing that. Yeah. You've hit a solid Pokemon. I think I actually like something like Yu-Gi-Oh better than Pokemon now. I mean, not as a video game because I mean I don't really cares about Yu-Gi-Oh video games except for like watching old clips of like Forbidden Memories because that shit's hilarious. But like outside of that, yeah. I'm just looking at all my games now because I'm just looking for more things that I was thinking about talking about because I want to keep going. I want to just hang out. I want to just veg here. I don't really feel like doing anything else. I really liked our Shantae-a-thon, though. For a while I was debating just finishing Shantae and the Seven Sirens off stream, because honestly I just want to replay it because that's what I did after we played all the other games. Earlier in the year, with every single one. After I finished them on stream, I went back and played them on my own time to try and try and get a better feel for it. And I mean, it says something that I wanted to go back and play them again. So yeah, I really enjoyed them. Shantae, you're up there. I like you now. I mean, I liked you before because you had nice baps and some good music. But now that I've played pretty much all your games, I'm looking forward to more Shantae, And my girl Roddy Tops. Don't think I forgot about her. Could never. Yeah, anything else? There's been so much. This is so much Splatoon stuff that's coming out. My god, that's such a thing. I mean, I go through phases, right? So, like, obviously, for a while I was on a Persona kick. Recently, I was on the Yu-Gi-Oh kick. But Splatoon, I haven't gotten into a Splatoon kick anytime soon. So there's just been so much new shit they've been adding, and I'm like, I don't really feel like playing it. Maybe I'll do it in like a week or so, and it's been like months. I just haven't been feeling it, you know? Which is weird, because usually when new stuff comes out for a game, that's when I get back into it, you know? I think that's what caused me to get back into to Mario Kart recently. It was because, the final DLC dropped. And then, when I was playing Smash Brothers, like, I'd fall out of it, but every time we got a new character, I'd boot it up again. I'd start playing. But with Splatoon, I guess it's because they always get new stuff, which is good, but, like, I don't know, it feels like I don't really have much of a reason to jump back on because there's always new stuff. So I'm like, oh, I can come back whenever, because then they'll always have new stuff. I mean, yeah, some of it's like limited time only, but I'm like, eh. Oh god, there's so many games I gotta stream. Oh, there's that one. Oh, and then there's that one. Oh, and definitely that one. Oh, you know what game I almost got for Black Friday was Bayonetta 3. I was so close to getting it. I was tempted. I was like on the buy button, but I'm like, you know what? I don't want to spend too much money, and I bought enough games for Black Friday. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to do our Bayonetta-thon in the future sometime. Because I really want to. I love Bayonetta. And I haven't played 3 before, so. But what was it? Shit, I immediately forgot what I was gonna talk about. Alright, never mind. Oh, God. Oh, Undertale and Deltarune. I gotta play that on stream. I've played Undertale several times. I've never beaten that who should be not named. So that'll be fun to do on stream. And then Deltarune, I played Chapter 1, like, once. Like, a long time ago. But I never played Chapter 2. So, probably play that in succession. Oh, I think I remember what I was going to mention. One last Persona-related thing was, because I know I asked about this on Twitter. I was like, hey, would you guys be interested if I, like, before the Persona 3 remake came out, if I did, like, a stream where I fought all of the super bosses, like, in each game? That was part of the reason why I replayed 3, 4, and 5 while on hiatus, is to get to a point where I could refight, or not refight, but fight the super bosses, because there's technically 4 different fights, but I've only beaten one of them, and there's 2 I haven't even tried. So I was like, alright, that'll be a fun stream, I'll try to beat all of them. So look forward to that. That'll definitely be within the next few weeks, depending on my personal situation, which might shift, but don't worry, I will keep streaming no matter what, even though I've been gone a while. Hey, was that new... Sorry, I'm just looking at all my Switch stuff, because obviously that's what I have up. Was that new Nickelodeon Smash Brothers thing, was that good? Because I have the first one, and it was not very good. And then the second one came out, people were like, it's better. But just because it's better doesn't mean it's good. So, yeah, don't know about that one. And that one, might skip on that one. Hey! Thank you, Keegan. Thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. I mean, I don't know why you're calling me gay. I mean, I guess I'll consider it, but, like, I mean, I don't take that as an absolute statement. Girl I like said she liked me. Is it overthinking to think she likes me? Yeah, duh, you fucking idiot. Of course she doesn't like you. Why would she say she likes you if she actually liked you? It's not how girls work, you fucking dummy. Alright, I'm done. 8 months, baby. Yeah, thank you so much, Keegan. How are you? It's good to see you. Are you sure you aren't gay? Pretty sure. I don't know. I don't know. Have you seen Persona 5's Joker in drag as a sexy cop? That's made me question some things. I don't know. I'd probably do it as long as I'm pitching. You know, I wouldn't want to be catcher in any of those situations. But if I'm pitching, and the guy was cute enough, yeah, sure, why not? It isn't gay if you have socks on. Oh, okay, cool. So I'll just keep my socks on. I'd probably want to do that anyway. I'm weird like that. Yeah, I guess if you're completely naked, I guess it's fine. But if you're wearing anything at all, I'd be like, well, I'd want to keep the socks on, you know. I mean, if I'm keeping something warm, I want my feetsies to be warm. You know? And so, yeah. I miss seeing your face, you stinky hoe. Oh, wow. You sound like my family. But it's good to see you too, Keegan. Glad to have you back. What was I saying? Before I was talking about being, I was talking about being gay. You know, I've always seen stuff like, I mean, obviously this doesn't really happen anymore in like movies and stuff. But like this happened a lot, like before the 2010s, or like there was like the Crying Game movie, which I've never seen, but I know like the big twist, where it's like, oh, there's a guy, and he has sex with a girl. Oh, but it turns out later they find out, she's not really a girl, you know, that kind of thing. And then they're like, oh, ew, gross, which obviously, like, looking at it now, you're like, that's fucked up. But I didn't even get it. I'm like, okay, so you fucked, and you enjoyed it. What's the problem here? I don't get it. I don't know. You still got action. If I'm getting action, and I'm like physically attracted to the person, and I get some hot action, and later I find out they're a gender I didn't think they were, I'd be like, okay, so still got some action. Yeah. Sir, are you okay? I'm just explaining. Alright? I'm just explaining why it's okay to be gay if you're straight. God, it's not that complicated, guys. You just gotta write this down, alright? This is very important. Okay? Alright? Most of the time, it's because you're pitching. Alright? And you're not catching. Right? Hey, there you go. I like it. Oh, I wish the bit thing changed to, like, the flag. Oh, you know what I was talking about with the guy I was working with? Because, you know, I work in retail. So we're getting a lot of, like, toy stuff in. And, like, you know how they have a Barbie for everything? I don't think they have a transgender Barbie yet. Do they? I haven't seen one. And we get, like, all kinds of Barbies coming in. So, like, coming in. But, like, and you know, you see all the ones. Pregnant Barbie, wheelchair Barbie, Barbies of all different kinds of races. You know, Barbies with all kinds of disabilities. Haven't seen a single transgender Barbie. Which I'm like, alright, there's one of two reasons for that. One, uh, it's because I don't know, they're just stupid and they haven't realized that they can make money off of that. Or two, uh, lesbian Barbie. I'm pretty sure they've done that one. I don't know for sure, but pretty sure that is a thing. Actually, another reason they might not want to do a transgender Barbie is just because like it's still seen as like a controversial topic for some people, for like a good portion of people, which is unfortunate, but like it's it's true where it's like it can get controversial in some instances. So they want to like be as universal as possible, which leads to reason three, which is like um uh they want to sell like Barbies all over the world, and in some parts of the world, just like transgender stuff is just like not accepted at all. It's a lot of reason why like Disney, if you notice, Disney never puts gay characters in their films, or if they do, it's put in a way where it could be easily edited out because like Disney makes a shit ton of money in like China, where being gay is not good over there. So I just made my Barbies lesbian as a child. Now I have a gay awakening. A awakening is the proper term, just so you know. Or a gaykening, that would also work. Just saying. All right. Anyway, yeah, I mean, giant companies like that, they don't care about progressiveness and inclusivity if they can make more money by not having it in there. So that's why I assumed I hadn't seen one. There could be, and I just didn't know, like a transgender Barbie, but I don't know. Pixar. What? I can't even read that. Pixar on on top. Is that what that says? I don't know. Is there ever a gay character in a Pixar movie? There was that one lady in Lightyear that everyone was like, "Oh my god, they finally got a gay character in there." But I'm like, they showed her being gay in like what, a total of 5 seconds in two scenes. I wonder if they could easily either edit that or edit that completely out of the movie, and they could still like show it in like China. You know. Yes, Grandpa Vol. Okay. Oh my god, have you guys seen? Have any of you seen Wish, by the way, the most recent Disney movie? Because I look at the trailers for that movie, and it looks like the most basic, cookie cutter, boring ass movie. Like, it, it's like if you tell like an AI like make a Disney movie, it'll be like, okay, here we go, boom, uh, like princess hero, funny sidekick, cute sidekick, and then a bad guy. it's that's it, literally that's what it looks like. It's and I'm like, and then I have a friend who's like a Disney fanboy, and even he didn't like. He said he went to see it and he thought it was so boring. It's just such a weird movie to have because it's their 100th anniversary film, and like it just looks so boring and no one likes it. It's like, what happened? Elemental was better. I I never saw it because I didn't know what to think of it. Like at first it didn't look like it was going to be that great. Like visually I really liked it, but like the actual movie didn't look like it was going to be that great. And then at first like no one saw it. Like no one went to see it. And then all of a sudden like a week later everyone went to go see it, and it got super uh like so much attention. It just out of nowhere, and I was like, it's like what? So do people like it or not? So I never saw it. Such a cute movie. I mean, it might be cute, but is it good? You know. I mean, and see some nice ladies across the bar. I'm like, hey, she's cute, but is she good at Mario Kart? And also getting a dick, but you know, Mario Kart 2. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm happy I changed that one. That sound alert. I did miss that. It's better than it used to be the Boo You Stink from SpongeBob, but I think this one's funnier. Then I put the Milkman one. I put the Shantae, this is dumb. I put the Yusuke, that was truly cringeworthy. But I still have like Peppy encouraging me for the 1% of people that want to be nice to me. Oh, thank you. Oh, man. That self-esteem is just a flying after that one. Yeah, I appreciate, yes. Yes, indeed. Worship me by telling me I stink. Indeed. Yeah, you know, I probably... Yeah, no, after this, I'm probably... after my streams now, I'm probably just gonna go straight to bed. Just because that's how my schedule's gonna end up looking from now on. Because I have to I have to be at work at 4. Because I go in at 4. And I do a full shift, 8-hour shift. So I get out at like 12:30. Worship you, you stinky. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know. Actually, worship, that reminds me of something that I want to talk about. Don't worry, it's not religion based. So it's something else. But yeah, that's how my day is looking. I go in at 4, I get out at 12:30. So I get up at 3, which means I go to bed at around like what? Like 8:30, 9. So that's why my streams are probably going to be around 5 to 8. And then right after I might like chow on something and then go to bed or something, you know. Oh, here we go. What do you think I'm going to talk about? Because I have something to say about something that might make a lot of people upset. Again, not... I think I should say again, not religion-based. It's to do with something completely different. Can I ask, for those who are interested, what is... Because you're Volt and I know you? Okay, well, what is with this insane worshipping of K-pop boy bands within the last, like, year or so? What the hell? Why is that? I simp a lot for, I mean, a lot of it's for fictional characters. You know, I do the simping, you know, but, you know, some of it's in jest, right? Some of it's, like, hyperbolic. But, my God! I prefer girl groups. Well, I guess I haven't been hearing too much about them. About girl groups, but holy shit. Like, it's all over Twitter. I've met people in real life. Like, I've seen people freak out over, like, that they want to, like, smell their breath or some shit. It's crazy. It's like, I'm suspecting, like, some kind of crazy, like, evil scientist mind control thing. Because that's how freaking, like, creepy it is. If I posted on Twitter more, you'd be so disappointed at me. Oh. Don't put yourself down like that, Keegan. I'm already the most disappointed in you. Sorry. I didn't mean that. I had the setup, but I had to go with it. But, oh my god. Oh, one of the freaking K-pop boy bands performed at the Thanksgiving parade. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I just saw the joke opportunity and I went for it. Oh god, these freaking K-pop bands. There's like what? There's BTS is the one that gets the most attention. Then there's like, oh, what one was at the Thanksgiving parade? And Hypen, is that another one? I think. I thought you loved me. I do. I love all of you guys. Okay. You can be disappointed in someone you love. Sorry. Uh, uh. I'm too mean. I see the opportunity to be mean, and I take it. I'm cruel like that. I cannot win today. I always win. My God, I need to figure out what's going on with these K-pop boy bands. I need to get to the bottom of this. There's one thing for someone to be famous. There's another thing for people to be worshipped, which is not healthy. Idolization is not healthy. Please do not idolize people, like, because you end up treating them like they're gods among men, and it just it's bad for everyone involved. Like I always say, I say that to anyone who wants to be a fan of me. I'm like, don't put me on a pedestal or anything. Like I'm just I'm a person, you know. And it's people like that are like you don't love them as people. You love the idea of them. You know, the reason they're so popular is because they don't like share a lot about their personal lives. You know, think about the most famous people ever, right? The big one that everyone talks about is like Beyonce. Like everyone loves Beyonce. But why does everyone love Beyonce? Because no one knows jack shit about her, right? The less people know you, the more people like you. I love Josh Hutcherson and Simform, but I don't worship him because that's weird. Yeah, exactly. Like you can be attracted to them, you can like them, but like, but it's just like you don't put them on a pedestal like that, you know. And like I could easily, like, just play into everything like that. You know, I could do that. I could just not share anything about my personal life. I could just not share my opinions. I could just only speak in whatever everyone wants to hear, play the games everyone wants to see me play. You know, I could easily do that, but I'm not going to. I would rather have less fans and friends that know me than a shit ton of people. I've probably said this a million times, but you know, than a shit ton of people who just think of me as like an idea. Idol culture is just so uncomfortable. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I mean that's what they like. That's what big VTuber groups are. I mean they treat themselves like idol companies. You know, which is a shame because you can see some of those people who like they're being hailed as idols, but you see some of their streams and you actually like start to see them try to like emerge as people, and they can't fully do that because you know contracts and all that shit. So it is a shame, you know. It's why like I thought about it when you know I created my audition. What was it like a year and a half ago, maybe probably longer, where I made an audition for V Shoujo when they were hiring. Um, and I'm happy I didn't get it because and then later like some of my VTuber friends were like, "Oh my, I know you love Hololive, and Hololive's doing an English branch for male VTubers." I'm like, you know what? I don't want to. I don't want to have those restrictions. You know, I would rather just be myself. You know, even then, like, I'm not like complete. I don't think anyone is completely themselves when they're around other people. You know, because like again, the more people know you, the less people are gonna like you. It's just a, it's sad, and you might think that's pessimistic, or cynical, but I don't know. That's just my interpretation of things. I have a fuck ton of people that follow me specifically for my R demon idolize it. It's like really uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. You know, I mean, some people think that's what that's what VTubing is. That's what I thought it was at first. When I first saw VTubers, I thought it was like I thought it was like people trying to do like an easy cash grab. Like, okay, obviously all these like cute girls, they're all just like older men who are just playing like a cute girl, and then people donate to them and they get a ton of money, and then they put on an act and all that shit. Um, you know, it wasn't until I started like watching them more that I was like, okay, I think I get the idea. You know, the character is the draw. You know, the design, the lore, all that's to draw people in, and then you you show that you're a person, and you get to know them as people, and you're like, okay, I get it. You know, I kind of signed up for it because I'm a voice actor, but that's besides the point. Well, I mean, everyone has their reasons. You know, um, I was like part of mine. I was doing it as an experiment, um, because I mean, there were other factors, but basically, I wanted to see how shallow of an idea this was, um, because I used to stream IRL, like camera and everything, uh, but like I was enjoying it, but like after a while, you know, I kind of got that was when I got into watching VTubers, and then I was like, what if I tried that? I'm like, do I think, right, that if I had an attractive face, that it would draw more people in and get more people to pay attention to me, and more people would care simply because I look better? And I was proven right. Because I mean, obviously, I don't have a huge following or anything, but more people turn their heads. Uh, you know, and that was a lot of. I immediately got a lot of like, oh man, so handsome, so cute, yeah, yeah, and it was like, wow. Not everyone's like that, of course, but I was just like, well, that worked. Not gonna lie, I'm mainly VTube when I just feel like wearing my pajamas all day. Well, that's another advantage of being a VTuber. I could be naked right now and no one would know. You have no idea. Actually, I don't like being naked. Clothes are comfy, all right. I know some people find them restricting, but god damn it, they're soft and comfy, and I want to be comfy. All right. It's weird for me to be. I like if I lived alone. Even when I did live alone, like I didn't walk around the house naked. I don't want to imagine that. Good lord. Wow. Um, I guess that's a normal thing for someone to say, but also ouch. But okay. You know, like it's normal to say that, but I'm not like a pile of jello or anything, you know. And I'm not like a bear. You know, yeah. But I love you, please. So, how many followers do you think I'll make a goal for to get? I'll get a naked Volt model. I probably, even if I wanted to do that, I probably couldn't. My art mama doesn't do not safe for work stuff. So I'd have to go to someone else, and I don't want to do that. Well, how's it out right now? I don't know. I had various ideas for different models to go with. Um, all of them would look like this, of course, but um, like different idea. Like I had an idea for a female Volt, but I wasn't. I kind of just wanted it to be like a gimmick. Like it would be like a redeem. Like if people like a really high redeem. Like, oh, you want the female model for today? Then you can redeem 10,000 points or whatever the fuck. Um, the same thing like I have with like the blanket. People can redeem me wearing the blanket, which I would show, but I forgot which number it was, and I don't want to press the wrong key and have my model flip around the screen. uh, but I wasn't sure if people would find it like offensive if I made like a female Volt model. You know, like obviously I'm not actually like transgender or anything. So I'm like, would people like actually not be cool with it? Like, I don't know, you know. So I thought it was a fun idea, but I don't think I'll go through with that. Different outfits for sure, though. Um, two models being worked on is kind of nerve wracking. Yeah, I don't I don't have the money for a new model. If it if I have the money by next year for like my 3rd year anniversary, which would be in August of next year, um, I would like to have that be like a big anniversary thing where like I have a new outfit, you know. I have some ideas for what my new outfit could be. Uh, and I think it'd be fun to have like a proper Halloween outfit, because what I did for Halloween last year was, if you remember or if you saw it, uh, I altered the colors on this model and it made me look like a ghost, and I thought it was pretty cool. But it'd be cool to have an actual Halloween kind of thing. Sayu, the VTuber, has a female model and people love it. Well, I meant like a model that I switch between, you know, because like you can point to certain like VTubers who use like a model that is like the opposite gender of what they are, or uh, something like that. Either they just want a different gendered model, or they're transgender, so that's why they want a model of that gender that they identify with. You know, that's what he does. It's a point redeem. Oh, okay, all right. Maybe I know there's some people who would definitely eat it up if I if I did that. They'd be like, "Oh my god, yes." But no, I just wasn't sure if people would be uncomfortable with it. I mean, like I don't think it would be offensive, but I'm also not transgender, so I have no right to speak. I'd eat that shit up, bitch. Okay, maybe I'll have a female Volt. See, but the thing is, we love women in this house. All right, cool. Do you think I should have like a voice changer too? That would be interesting. If I got a voice changer that would make me sound feminine. Do it? Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Question is, I think the most important question, design wise, how big should my tits be? Am I the kind of person with like some voluptuous tits, or do I need like some tiny bitties, or is it like in the middle somewhere? It could be being a bad influence. No, 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 no. This idea, it is now in the development stage. Get my milkers. So okay, Mom, are we talking about like like reaching a little out the chest, or are we talking about like Hitomi Tanaka kind of, you know? I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You know, kind of weird that I mentioned a specific porn star, but you know, I let her step on me. She doesn't even exist yet. What if I just made her unbearably ugly? You know, I'd be like, oh, someone redeemed it. Surprise. And, you know. Question, though. If I, like, made her face very, very, very ugly, right? Like, I'm not talking about, like, oh, you know, some people find it attractive. No, I mean, like Chunk from the Goonies, like, ugly. like, but I gave her giant mommy milkers. Do you think, how many people do you think would still be into it? She could still step on me, I don't shave. Fair enough. I mean, people were really into that lady Dimitrescu girl from Resident Evil. That was Resident Evil, right? And she kind of had like a creepy vampire dead face. I was never into that chick. I don't know. It takes a lot for me to like a villain. Don't ask me what color the sky is. I wasn't looking. Hey, my boobs are down here. Hello. Maybe I should put the face in the boobs so that I could say that. And just have a creepy head with no face on it. So that way people look at the creepy face that doesn't have like a face, and then I'll be like, hey, my boobs are down here, and people will look at me like I'd be a face on the boobs. Goodbye. What, you don't like my brilliant ideas? Fine, you can leave. Us geniuses will remain and plan out this brilliant idea. Okay, so if we put a face in the boobs. All right, I'm done talking about this. It's over. Laughed so hard I gagged. My role is complete. Make someone laugh so hard that they die. That's my brilliant plan. That's how I kill people without being in the same room. Problem is being funny. See, exactly my point. I'm just like, hey, I'm funny. Everyone's like, you're not funny. I'm like, why do you have to say that to me, Dad? It's like, you'll never be a successful comedian. I'm like, I want to be a veterinarian. It's like, you probably can't do that shit either. You're not smart. I'm like, I get straight A's though. He's like, but not straight A pluses. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Sorry, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, face in the boobs. Okay, so back to that. Yeah, no, we're done with that. We're done. I'll probably just I'll start with a model with a different outfit. Why don't we start with that? Yeah, face in the boobs plan. That'll we'll delay that a bit. That'll be another time. Oh god. I think I'm probably gonna stream tomorrow. On this upcoming Sunday, I'll start putting schedules out again. I'm hoping to, at least, so that should be fun. I want to stream tomorrow. I can't stream Friday, and I don't know if I want to stream Saturday, but I definitely want to stream tomorrow. And I don't know. Let's we'll probably finish up Shantae tomorrow, and it probably will not take 3 hours. At least, I mean, I don't know. I've never finished it, but It doesn't look like there's much left. So, and we can probably just talk after or talk more about this brilliant plan. I'm just thinking about more to talk about now. I want to try and fill up 3 hours. I've been looking at a wall of video games. Is there anything else interesting? Oh, more characters with nice tits. I'll use these as references. I already have them in a folder, but it's a different folder for other purposes. Let's see. Game without a character with nice tits. Oh, there's that. Oh, no. Not quite nice tits, but some nice cake. So, I mean. Oh, yeah, there's Kirby. Kirby games. There's no Kirby character with Baps or a sweet ass that I can remember. That Susie chick's kind of cute. But she's just like a head on a stick. So I guess it doesn't count. There is a Hat in Time. There's not. Are there even any adult chicks in A Hat in Time? It's just like 2 little girls, and that's it. There's the ghost guy. Oh, there was the weird lady who was the leader of the Yakuza. She was creepy though. She was not hot. She was not. I mean, listen, when it comes to furry chicks, I have a very particular taste, and that is definitely not one of them. Okay, it's like a friggin' Sphinx cat, and I'm like, gross. No, I prefer bunny girls. Bunny girls are a lot better. All right, that's controversial probably, but I think bunny girls, they're better than cat girls. Sorry, it's just my opinion. All right, ever since I saw Vanilla the Rabbit. And then Bunny Rabbit. Pretty much any of the bunnies from Sonic the Hedgehog. Unless there was a male bunny. Was there a male bunny in Sonic the Hedgehog? I don't know. Oh, there's also the character from Zootopia. I watched that the other day. And you know what? I'm like, you know what? It's weird, but like some of the ways that bunny talks, it's like sultry, you know. And I'm like, you know, it's a little weird. It's a little weird just because it's a tiny bunny, but like, I don't know, maybe, possibly we could play Smash together, you know, play Smash Brothers together. I'll bring out my Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's possible. Are we talking about hot bunnies? I mean, there's Jessica Rabbit, but despite the name, she is not a rabbit, even though she's married to a rabbit. I guess that's why her last name is Rabbit, because she's married to a rabbit. What do you think her name was before? Jessica Whore. I don't know if their last names are all descriptive. I mean, maybe. I don't even know. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of hot rabbits. Any other hot rabbits? What other franchises have rabbit characters in them? Anthropomorphic rabbits. Lola Bunny. Oh my god, I can't believe I haven't thought of that one. That's like the most famous one. Man, there are a lot of like sexy rabbit characters. Damn. Did Shantae ever turn into a rabbit? I'm just saying, Shantae, I mean, okay, granted, Shantae doesn't really get hot in some of her transformation. I mean, I don't want to fuck the monkey or the elephant. All right, the harpy. Yeah, I could do the harpy. Yeah. Mermaid, absolutely. Mermaid chicks, always the mermaid chicks. but not like other fish chicks. You know, like you can't just look at a female fish and be like, oh yeah, that's hot. Like nah. I mean, like how would that even work? I mean, you could probably find a fish with some solid DSLs, but and not like I'd want to put them to use. You know what I'm saying? Guys out there, anyone? I don't know. There's some things that like you'd think you wouldn't be into, and then you just kind of stumble across some detailed fan artwork of them, and then you're like, why did you make this, and why am I into it? I don't. And oh my god, another bunny that I just thought of. I always thought, okay, this is a weird one, I guess. Maybe not. But one of my favorite Pokemon is Cinderace, right? And I always saw Cinderace as kind of like, you know, looked like a manly dude rabbit, you know? Then I just kind of stumbled across some fan art that I didn't expect of like a female one. And I'm like, why am I into this? And can people stop doing that with like Pikachu? Like, what is with that? Why do they have to like create like a sultry Pikachu? I don't get that. Like, stop it. Am I into it? Like, you're making me question things that should never be questioned. Stop it. Quit it. Also, you should just throw them in a folder and throw them away. You know what? Just email them to me, and I'll throw them away. That way I can make sure that they're thrown away. Because I don't trust you to do it. So just put them all in a folder and email them to me. And then I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I would. No shame. Okay, a little shame. Alright, a lot of shame. Oh, you know what? You know what bunny I wouldn't fuck? The like a female rabbit. You know, like the Rayman Rabbids. You know, like the Rabbid Peach they got from like Mario and Rabbids. Nah. Nope. That is an unfuckable bunny right there. And that is a phrase I do not throw around lightly. You know? You gotta pick and choose your buddies. What the fuck am I talking about? I don't know, I'm talking about hot chicks. Surprising, because I never talk about that. Anyway, oh, you know what? One last thing I'll talk about that released while I was on hiatus that I guarantee you none of you care about, but I thought was pretty neat. Some of you may remember that I got into I kind of got into like King of Fighters, and King of Fighters just released their last, or at least for now, their last DLC character, and it was a character that they had in a previous game that I kind of hoped would return, and I didn't think they would, but they did. Her name's Hinako, I believe, and I like her just because of the concept. She looks like a high school girl anime thing, right? Like, she's cute. She's got like a dress on and stuff. But the funny thing is like her fighting style, because it's what you would never guess. Like, just think of all the different fighting styles you could give to like a late teens girl in a school outfit, and I guarantee you that sumo would probably be pretty low on that list. She's a sumo wrestler. It's just so weird to see her performing all the moves. She's like a high school girl. She's like sumo throwing people. I like that shit. That's actually what I really like about King of Fighters is like how different and fun all the characters are. Because it's like, you know, you got sumo characters in Street Fighter. You got E Honda, and he looks like a sumo wrestler. And you got what's the name of the guy in Tekken? Who's the sumo wrestler in Tekken? Fuck, what's his name? I don't remember. I don't remember his name. But I mean, he's just like a traditional sumo fighter. And then you got who's the sumo fighter in King of Fighters? Oh, the little girl. What about like the boxer character? You know who the boxer character is? Well, the primary boxer character is in King of Fighters. The fucking like a middle-aged woman who's a secret agent. But she doesn't have boxing gloves or anything, but she fights in the boxing style, and it's like, oh, that's fun. That's a fun idea. I like that. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. And they're all hot ladies. Campfire's got something for everyone, alright? They have a lot of hot ladies, like most video games. But you know what? They got a lot of hunky guys too. When I say hunky guys, I mean like Jesus Christ, these guys are built like tanks. I mean, some of them are like the shonen style that a lot of the gals simp for, and guys. I don't judge anyone. But then they got if you like buff, muscly dudes, oof, you got it cut out for you. Like my boy Rock. Yeah, you think of people named Rock who are like fighters. You got The Rock. You got Rock from Soul Calibur, who's that giant buff guy with no shirt, and he wears like a rhino thing on his head. He has a giant mace. Nah, not my boy Rock Howard. He's like a edgy shonen looking dude with a red and black jacket. He shoots fire. And like you'd think he'd be like edgy, but he's not. He's just quiet and a good guy, but he's nervous around girls. He's like every girl weeb's like wet dream. But he's like I'm like I want to be that guy. Every weeb girl's wet dream. Yeah, I want to be that. But like primarily I want to be as cool as that guy. That's mainly what I'm worried about. I just need my coolness. My coolness meter is not that cool. I'll be there someday, Rock Howard. I'll do a poll on Twitter. I will do a poll on Twitter every week until I win. Who is cooler, Volt Raoul or Rock Howard or Shadow the Hedgehog? We'll see who wins. All right, that's all I got for today, guys. I'm gonna probably munch on something then go to bed. I am fucking tired. But yeah, I want to thank you guys who came to the stream today. It means so much. And thank you to the new people as well. It really means a lot to me. Especially me coming back after so long, seeing some familiar faces. Makes me feel good. And don't worry, this is gonna keep up. I'm gonna be streaming pretty regularly, hopefully, and at around the same time as today. But yeah, guys, I want to try and do a stream tomorrow. Hopefully we can finish Shantae tomorrow. And then we'll probably just chat some more. And then after that, I'll probably wait to make a schedule Sunday. Maybe stream Saturday, I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for the sub, Keegan. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it from me. Alright. Toodaloo.